Kristen Joe.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Welcome to our show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, we are glad you are here. We are going to start out on page 37.
Yes.
Where the title is First Part-Time Job. Where do you want to work?
So my question to you, Cameron, is what was your first part-time job?
Well, I did a lot of working with my father.
Okay.
Mowing lawns.
He paid you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Sometimes it was free labor.
Okay.
But my first official job was at a restaurant called Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. You were a server?
I was a server.
Okay.
And we served things like country food.
Oh, yum.
Like American style.
Like Southern country food?
Yeah, Southern and just the middle, like biscuits and gravy.
Fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Oh.
Pork chops.
Oh, yum.
Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah, fried catfish. It was our Friday
it's
special.
Like Maggie, right?
Maggie 튀김.
Yeah. 맛있겠다.
It was a big hit. We did it every Friday.
Oh.
The whole restaurant smelled like
catfish.
Catfish.
Really?
Yeah. What was your first time job?
I have a long story about my first part-time job. That first part-time job continued to be my part-time job until the end of college.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah, I got my first part-time job when I was in my first year of high school, like 10th grade at that time.
So you had that job for a long time.
The owner, the 사장님, loved me. And so she was like, just work whenever you want to. You're always welcome to come.
That's the best.
I had the best arrangement.
That's great.
So I used to always work there.
And then when you came to Korea, is that when you
and then I worked for full-time.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, I need to go back to school. That's when I decided to go to grad school.
I see.
Then I came to Korea.
I see.
So that was my first part-time job.
Cool.
Okay. So here are some expressions that we're going to cover. If you apply for a job, apply for something.
You are saying you want this thing. Please give it to me.
Yes.
It's usually you're filling out a form.
You're filling out a form. Fill in for someone.
Here, we're going to do something as a substitute for someone else. Maybe someone is sick, something came up and they cannot do their job, so you are doing it instead of them.
Okay, very good. And if worse comes to worst, so the first one is worst, W-O-R-S-E. Second is worst. Right? W-O-R-S-T.
If worse comes to worst means when a bad situation gets even worse.
Yes.
As bad as it can get.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how it's used in our dialogue. Let's go ahead and listen.
Are you sure you want to apply for a part-time job?
Come on, Mom. How am I ever going to become an adult if I can't earn my own money?
Okay, but the moment it starts affecting your grades, you have to quit.
I'll only work 2 nights a week and 1 shift on the weekend, unless they need me to fill in for someone.
Where do you want to work?
The movie theater at the mall or a coffee shop. If worst comes to worst, the pizzeria.
Please join us on page 38. You can find our power dialogue there. First part-time job, where do you want to work? So basically, Charlie is a teenager. He wants to work part-time.
Yes.
Okay. And Mom says, are you sure you want to apply for a part-time job? Our power pattern today is, are you sure you want to? Okay. There's nothing difficult about this pattern. What is it asking?
So the feeling is you want to confirm something. Often, though, it's like, maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe you should reconsider.
Yeah, think about it again.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to?
Yeah. It's like, you can do it, but think again.
Yeah. So it can be trying to dissuade, meaning make someone not do something. Or it could be, maybe they're doing something risky, and you're just saying, okay, are you sure you want me to do this?
It's like you're double checking.
Right.
Yeah.
So this often happens for very serious things. For example, let's say you're getting surgery.
Yeah.
And maybe the doctor is going to say one more time, okay, are you sure you want to do this surgery.
Because there's like a 40% chance that you might not fully recover.
Yeah, it could be a risky surgery, for example. So that extra final confirmation.
So Tiffany, the mom, is like, are you sure you want to apply for a part-time job? So apply for something.
Apply for here is talking about giving your application to receive a job as a candidate.
Right.
You're saying, I want to do this. I'm willing to do this.
Yeah.
So you can apply for a job. You can apply for school.
Yeah. You can also apply for a social, program.
Yes.
Right? That's offered free from the government. Maybe you are qualified.
Yeah. You can apply for a loan.
Yes, you can.
Hey, bank, please give me a loan.
That's right.
I promise I'll pay you back.
That's right. Okay. So Charlie says, come on, Mom. How am I ever going to become an adult if I can't earn my own money? Now, Charlie's like, well, if I want to be an adult, I need to earn my own money. And can I be honest with you?
Yes.
Charlie is the opposite of my son.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's like, why would I work part-time?
Yeah. I think with children, it's one of two ways.
Yeah.
Either they want to work and get that money to become independent.
Right.
And then the other is...
They want to be dependent.
For as long as possible.
For as long as possible.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so what does Tiffany say?
Okay, but the moment it starts affecting your grades, you have to quit.
Now, this could actually be a pattern. It's not. But the moment it does something, is kind of like, okay, it's saying if it affects your grades, the moment it affects your grade means if it affects your grade, that moment, something's going to happen.
Yeah, as soon as.
Yes.
So whenever the conditions change, immediately
you have to quit.
You have to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moment it starts affecting, so if A affects your grades.
So affect means to influence or change. In this situation, we don't technically know if she means good or bad. Because you can affect something in a good way or a bad way.
Right.
But often, if you do not have the word good in there, native speakers use this to mean bad.
Yeah.
Oh, your friends are affecting you.
Yes.
That doesn't mean in a good way.
No.
Often.
That's right.
It usually means they're affecting you in a bad way.
Right.
They're changing you.
That's right. Or, maybe the sports, you're too much into sports and it's affecting your grades. Again, it's not doing a good job with your grades.
Yeah, it's making your grades, your scores on your test go lower.
Lower. So here, it's basic. Mom is saying, hey, if your grades become lower, you quit.
Yes.
And what does Charlie say?
I'll only work 2 nights a week and 1 shift on the weekend unless they need me to fill in for someone.
Okay, so he's not going to work a lot.
Yes.
Just like 2 nights a week and 1 shift on the weekend, unless they need me to fill in for someone. So this is a typical business word. If you fill in for someone at work, what are you doing?
You are doing their job for them. Maybe they got sick or someone in their family got hurt and they have to leave. They can't do their job.
Right.
So someone steps in, does the work for them.
Right.
So they're filling in.
That's right. So imagine an empty chair at the desk. There needs to be someone on that chair.
Yeah. If a phone call comes, someone has to pick it up.
So you fill in, right, that spot.
Yes.
Okay. Tiffany says, where do you want to work?
Charlie says, the movie theater, at the mall, or a coffee shop. If worst comes to worst, the pizzeria.
That is true. According to my son, he says the best place is a movie theater.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but he feels like that is the ideal job. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if you like movies, you probably get some cheap or free tickets.
One thing is that he just does not want to work at like a barbecue restaurant. Yeah.
I mean, I worked in a restaurant with like a teppanyaki, the charpan.
Yes.
And you smell.
Yeah.
Like the meat cooking all the time.
That's right. That's right. So if worst comes to worst, Charlie says he will work at the pizzeria.
Yes.
But that's his last choice. So what is this expression? If worst comes to worst.
If worst comes to worst means in the worst situation possible.
That's right.
This is what will happen. This is what I will do.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and listen to that dialogue one more time, and we'll give you more examples in just a bit.
Are you sure you want to apply for a part-time job?
Come on, Mom. How am I ever going to become an adult if I can't earn my own money?
Okay, but the moment it starts affecting your grades, you have to quit.
I'll only work 2 nights a week and 1 shift on the weekend, unless they need me to fill in for someone.
Where do you want to work?
The movie theater at the mall or a coffee shop. If worst comes to worst, the pizzeria.
It's time for Power Note. Let's take a look at pages 40 and 41. If you apply for something, you are formally requesting, especially when it comes to a job or a loan, you put in a resume.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Has Sarah gotten a job since she finished university?
She applied for a job at that new tech company.
I wonder if she got it.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
He plans to apply for a scholarship to help pay for college. That's right. You can apply for a scholarship.
Yes. Anything where you're basically asking, please give me this.
Yeah.
When you're often not paying money, right?
Right.
Maybe there is an application fee, like $100.
Right.
Like when you apply for university.
Yeah.
There's maybe like $100 fee.
Yes, I believe there is.
But the acceptance is not based on that fee, and you're obviously going to have to pay more money.
Right.
Yeah.
So you apply for a job, you apply for a loan, you apply for, what else? Apply for a program.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can apply for things like jobs, but let's say you are a musician or you are an actor.
Okay.
You don't apply for that type of job.
Interesting.
You
yes.
would audition.
You would audition. Yes.
Yeah. So that's where you would go in and you would either play your instrument or you would do a monologue,
yes.
some acting or singing.
Yeah.
So that is a little different. There you would not say apply, you would say audition.
Audition.
Even if you're trying to get a job.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like I would say, music, acting, singing, whatever it may be, you're auditioning.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. If you fill in for someone, it means that someone is not available. They have to leave work and you are temporarily taking their place. Today is going to be so hectic for me.
I can fill in for you at the meeting if you're too busy.
Okay, so they have a meeting, and in this case, the person is still at the office, but they've got so much work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, don't go to the meeting. I'll go for you instead.
Yes.
Okay. Jessica filled in for her coworker while he was on vacation.
Yeah. So with both of these, this is very job specific, where you're doing something instead of something and someone else.
Yes.
In the home, for example, like a husband and wife, let's say the wife usually does pickup at school.
Yes.
Gets the child, right?
Okay.
But maybe the wife is busy today.
All right.
And the dad does it instead.
Okay.
That is not filling in.
That's interesting.
Right?
How come?
I don't know.
Isn't that strange?
Ask the person who made English. I don't know why. This filling in is for very official jobs and responsibilities.
Totally agree.
Even though things at home, there are a lot of responsibilities to have.
Yeah.
It's not a business,
no,
right?
No, that's right. So, and here's another thing too. In our broadcasting world, if you're doing a live show and you get sick, or I remember like Morning Special Sue got stranded. Like it was snowing or like there was a tornado. I mean like
some kind of weather-related problem.
Like a rainstorm. And she got stranded in Jeju. And then what do? Right? Well, someone has to fill in.
Yes.
Yeah.
getting someone to come in and,
Yeah.
do your job for you instead.
That's right. So it's kind of like, and then, the PDs will call like, oh, could you fill in? And,
It's so true. It happens more than you think. Not just here at EBS, other shows, whatever you're doing.
Totally.
Maybe an actor, someone cancels last minute.
Yeah. It's so true.
Can you fill in for him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially, I think it happens in our freelance industry a lot. Yeah. Okay, very good. Our next expression is if worse comes to worst.
Yes.
So, we're talking about the worst situation possible. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can leave work early on Friday.
If worst comes to worst, we can always take a later flight. In the worst situation.
In the worst situation. So, if worst comes to worst, we'll have to postpone the wedding.
Yes.
Okay, in the worst situation.
Yeah.
So, our listeners may be a little confused with why is it worse and then comes to worst? It's just for emphasis.
Yeah. And I have to make a confession here.
Uh-oh.
I never pronounce this expression correctly.
Why?
I never say worst at the end. A lot of native speakers,
I don't blame you.
including myself,
Yeah.
will say if worst comes to worse, we don't put the T on there.
That is so true.
It is grammatically incorrect, but you may hear it.
That's right.
If you're taking a test and you want to use this expression, put the T, worst.
Yeah.
But in pronunciation with Native American speakers,
Yes.
I don't know about in the UK or elsewhere.
Yes.
Often we say if worse comes to worse.
Yes, it is so true. It's one of those things where it's kind of become accepted.
Yeah.
Or people don't know the real expression.
Yeah, it's like the expression, I could care less.
Yes, I couldn't care less.
You're supposed to say I couldn't.
But so many people say I could care less.
I could care less,
Yes, very good. Okay, so if worst comes to worst, okay? Our power pattern today is, are you sure you want to? Which is saying, can you think again?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do this.
That might be a bad idea.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
And it is with this intonation. Are you sure you want to do that? Okay.
Are you sure you want to eat pizza 3 nights in a row?
Cameron says yes.
Why is that a question?
Well, I had 2 hamburgers 2 nights in a row.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had the hamburgers 2 nights in a row.
And were you tired of the hamburgers?
No.
Right?
I'm telling you, I love hamburgers.
Or like chicken?
Oh.
I could have chicken every night of the week.
No, it's true. All right. Vocabulary here is affect versus effect.
Yes.
Okay, and people get confused.
Even native speakers.
Yeah, that's right. So one is A, affect, and then effect, E. Okay, so do check out that definition on page 42. And stop by
Audio Ohakdang.
Pay a very small fee to have access to so many wonderful programs. And we are going live today at Evening Special.
Yes.
At what time?
6 p.m.
Okay, so see you there. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.